it's essentially useless, but it's just cool. Okay, so as I said previously stated, born in 2000. Raised in a Christian home. I was raised in the church. We switched churches when I was young, which was actually an enormous life progression, because that's where I came to become part of Kenmore Alliance, which is probably the best church in the world. Yes. So I was raised, and God blessed me enough to give me a caring family and a nice home, and the ability just to be sociable and just out there. And I thank you for that. What I'd say is the first time I truly ever experienced God is back when I was in 6th grade, little 11-year-old me just wandering around. I went to camp, and I experienced God for the first time there when I was listening to a speaker. I don't remember what his name was, unfortunately, but I just remember being this spot of awe, because everyone in the room was just listening, and there were songs being sung, and everyone was just clapping. It was unison. It was beautiful. I remember that was the first time I truly felt the presence of God, and I remember weeping for who knows how long. But life did not get easier from there, even though I had experienced God. In fact, life actually got harder. School became harder, peer pressure became stronger, and my father died August 19th, 2013. That affected my life drastically, as most would expect. But it still made me stronger. It made me realize more about life and the value of it. But I had to say probably one of the most important parts of my testimony is my church, as previously stated, Kenmore Alliance. And I don't know where I would be right now without Mr. Adam Williams in the back recording this. Okay, he is the whole reason I am who I am today. Okay, he is, I guess you'd say, a role model for me. Adam, I love you. Even before this, he sat down and comforted me, telling me how to go about giving my testimony. So I have to say, if you have any problems, any issues that you need prayer for, go to him in the back. Big guy, big ginger. Yeah, go to him. Great guy. You'll love him. But that is basically my testimony. Thank you for listening. I will now pass it off to Megan.
Okay, hi. My name is Megan. I decided that today, instead of sharing with you my testimony, my whole life story, I'm going to share with you something that God's been trying to teach me lately through my testimony, through things that have happened in my life. So, my entire family, from the time they were born, they were raised in a Christian home. My mother has 9 brothers and sisters, and my grandma is a devout Christian. And so they were all raised, to be Christians, to believe in God. But now that they are older, most of them have decided that they don't believe in God and that they are going to follow atheism. And so me and my mother and my father are the only Christians left in my family besides my grandmother. So a lot of times what happens in my family is, they discourage us and they tell us that God's not real and that we shouldn't believe in God because, he's not real. And they often just try and bring us down, and they blatantly try and hurt us. And, so my mother decided in the past couple of years that we were going to separate ourselves from our family, basically avoid them in every way possible. We haven't been spending Thanksgivings with them or Christmases, and it's been really hard on me and my brother and, my parents, obviously. And I work at a summer camp, and a lot of times during the winter we have these father-daughter weekends where we'll have all the workers come in, and the fathers and daughters will come in, and we'll, try and share God's love with them. And oftentimes we learn a lot of things from them too. And I was sharing with them my testimony, and one of them talked to me afterwards, and they said, maybe instead of separating yourself from your family, you should try and share God's love with them and be forgiving towards them.
Amen.
So, thank you. So recently I've been trying harder to, connect with them instead of, distancing myself from them, because that has a lot of emotional damage on me and a lot of emotional damage for everyone in my family, because they feel like I don't love them anymore, which couldn't be further from the truth. So basically, what I've been learning recently is to forgive and forget. And instead of being bitter and resentful towards people that you're supposed to love, and even if you don't love them, if they're not your family, be God's light in the world. If people are trying to push you down, if people are trying to be mean towards you, be God's light. Do what Jesus would do.
Amen.